Dave by Greg, Golf Zero Delta Uniform Bravo. Serving as net control for the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net. This net meets each Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time and is open to all radio amateurs interested in emergency communications. The primary purpose of the net is to provide the opportunity for members to test equipment, exchange traffic, news, opinions and information, with additional information and announcements available on www.raynet-uk.net. This is a directed net, which means all calls are to be made to the net control station unless you are instructed otherwise, and all RAYNET-UK operators are invited and encouraged to check into the net. When you do check in, please announce your call sign slowly and phonetically, followed by your name, and if you wish to leave the net immediately after checking in, then please call in and out. Otherwise, if you want to leave after subsequent turns, then please make it clear you want to check out at that time. After I've heard a few check-ins, I'll repeat who I've heard. If you're not acknowledged, then please do try again, and I will call from any stations that missed their turn at the end of the UK and international sections. So, as usual, start taking check-ins to the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net in call sign number order. So any stations with figure 8 in their call wishing to check in, please call now. This is G4 and RC.
G4 NRC from Golf 8 Echo Yankee G8 EEY. Good afternoon, Greg.
Eight Echo Yankee. Good afternoon, Mike. Any other 8s, please? G4 and RC. Over. G4 and RC, no more 8s heard. Let's have 7s. Stations figure 7 in their call sign, please go ahead. G4 and RC, over.
Mike 7 Victor Sierra Delta. Name is Stephen, Dame Valley Group. In and out this week, Greg, over.
Golf 7 November Echo Hotel G798.
G4 and RC, good afternoon, Stephen. Mike 7 Victor Sierra Delta, copied you as in and out. Any other 7s, please? G4 and RC, over.
Mike 7 November Tango Echo, again, just listening in and out. Thank you very much. M7NT.
Golf 7 November Echo Hotel G798. Good afternoon, Greg.
RNRC, good afternoon then to Dave, Mike 7 November Tango Echo Dave, who's in and out, and Graham Golf 7 November Echo Hotel staying with me. Let's move on to 6s, stations figure 6 in their call sign please, G4 and RC, over. RNRC, second call, any stations figure 6 in their call, please call now, over. For an RC, then it's 5s, stations figure 5 in their call sign, please go ahead, G4 and RC, over. For an RC, we still don't have many 5s in the organisation, so let's go to 4s, stations figure 4 in their call sign, please go ahead, over.
G4 and RC, Golf 4 Kilo Uniform Juliet, Trevor in Watford.
G4 KL, Golf 4 Kilo in Yilling, Philip, South Sussex.
G4 and RC, so I've got Trevor, G4 KUJ, and Philip, Golf 4 Kilo India Lima. Any other 4s, please? G4 and RC, over. G4NRC, nothing heard, so let's have 3s. Stations figure 3 and their call sign, please go ahead. G4NRC, over.
Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, Ian.
Three Zulu Hotel X-Ray, good afternoon, Ian. Any other 3s, please? G4NRC, over. For NRC, nothing heard, so let's have 2s. Stations figure 2 in their call sign, and that includes you intermediate 2s. Please go ahead, over. G4NRC, second call for any stations figure 2 in their call sign, including the intermediates. Please go ahead, over. For NRC, then let's have 1s. Stations figure 1 in their call sign. Please go ahead, over. G4NRC, second call, any stations figure 1 in their call sign. Please call now, over. G4NRC, then let's have Mike 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier. Please call now, over.
Mike 0 Juliet Victor Zulu, Les from Leicester RAYNET, and can I have a chat with you at the end? It's a technical question. I will be in and out.
Mike 0 Golf Uniform Yankee, in and out, but listening to the end. Good afternoon, Greg.
Mike India 0, Mike 0 Oscar, Philip, Northern Ireland, in and out, but monitoring.
G4NRC, so I've got Les, Mike 0 Juliet Victor Zulu, Guy, Mike 0 Golf Uniform Yankee, and Philip, Mike India 0, Mike Sierra Oscar, all in and out. Les, depends what time the net finishes. I do need to be away at 16:45. There is no extension beyond that time today, so I might have to see what happens with your technical question. Any other Mike 0 station of any regional secondary identifier, please, over. For NRC, nothing heard, so let's have Golf 0 stations of any regional secondary identifier, over.
Golf Whiskey 0 Juliet Lima X-Ray. Good afternoon, Greg. Name is Andy. RAYNET Pembrokeshire. No traffic today, so in and out, please. Over.
W0JLX, G4NRC. Good afternoon, Andy. Copy to in and out, and we'll take my usual shortcut. Any UK stations who've missed their turn to call in, please call now. G4NRC, over.
2 Echo 0, Tango November, East Suffolk. Just listening, Greg.
Mike 0 November Alpha Sierra, Neil, Essex RAYNET, in and out.
Seven Oscar Charlie Kilo, in and out.
G4NRC, that's pushed the numbers a bit. So Steve, 2 Echo 0 Tango Delta November, Neil, Mike 0 November Alpha Sierra, and Craig, Mike 7 Oscar Charlie Kilo, all acknowledged, all in and out. Do we have any of our international colleagues on the talk groups today? That's usually North Samband of Norway, Aran in Ireland, Aries in Slovakia. Any of our international colleagues, please? G4NRC, over. G4NRC, nothing heard. So final call, any stations, UK or international, missing their turn to call into the RAYNET-UK activity period, please call now. G4NRC, over. G4NRC, nothing heard. Right, today's net is being live streamed by Graham, G7 and the H, to YouTube today. Past live streams and recordings are available by searching G7 and the H, that's Golf 7 November Echo Hotel, on YouTube. This is a time constrained net today. I do have to close at 16:45 latest, so just hold that thought in mind. A couple of news items. In sympathy with the GB2RS news item this week, a reminder to operators on 5 MHz to abide by the UK licence conditions and band plan. We do not have access to the harmonised band granted by the last World Radio Conference, but we have far more spectrum than that and higher power limits than those who do. There is a concern that a number of UK amateurs might be operating in the 5358 to 5362 gap, where there is no UK allocation. You should probably take this as part of a wider message to be sure of the sources of your information. People putting up Arden nodes on 2.4 GHz and selecting channels, for example, need to be cautious to follow UK rules, not the American ones which have pride of place on the AREDN website. From the Emergency Services Times this week, a story of how one LRF is getting ready for the national pandemic exercise that's due to take place later this year. It's all good stuff about aligning with the National Risk Register and how there is a squeeze on resources. What is interesting, though, is that LRFs are being asked which of the apparently 3 phases of the exercise they want to take part in, those being containment, close down and start-up. If you don't follow some of the trade publications for emergencies, it might be worth it to see what's coming up and to see which way they're thinking. On the energy networks, the gas network storage tanks are down to 27% full with the current cold weather, but the electricity networks aren't showing any significant loss of load probabilities. So with that, we had 14 check-ins. We 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We only seem to have 5 stations wanting to talk. So let's start with Mike. Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee G4NRC, over.
G4NRC from G8DEY. Well, good afternoon from a comparatively chilly Norfolk. 3.5 Celsius, 1023 millibars, 62% relative humidity and no cloud cover whatsoever, and 10.2 mile per hour winds from 91 degrees. Well, we actually have got our first bit of February snow. Well, more sleet than snow yesterday afternoon. A good 0.5 to 1.5 millimetres of snow brought Norfolk mostly to a halt as people were driving around as though it was a blizzard. Never mind. No, not heard anything from RLRS about the exercise. Back in the days when I had full access to Resilience Direct, could usually sniff things like that out, but unfortunately, light doesn't let you do that. That's about it for this round from me, from G8DEY. Over.
8 Echo Echo Yankee G4NRC returning. Okay, yeah, I imagine there's going to be some drumbeat of the coming exercise, though, since it will be aligned with a trial of the National Emergency Alert System via cell phones, so people will be more aware of what's coming up. Something you've just reminded me of, which is why the script is imperfect, is that there is a conference in March to deal with community resilience, etc. So I've kind of had to follow somebody on LinkedIn to find out what's going on with that and see if there's anything that's likely to be of any interest. noted on the snow, but at least you've had some for the year, so you can take that bit off your dance card. Right, Graham, we seem to have quite a few viewers last week. I wonder how the YouTube's doing today. G7NEH, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G7NEH, good afternoon, Greg. Good afternoon to all on the net. Yeah, last week we had 32 views and 6 likes, which was good. And I just reminded people, if they are watching the stream through the week or today, just hit that like button. It does just helps the YouTube algorithm along. And today we've had about 5 views, and there's one concurrently viewing. Not much else to add from this end, Greg, so if you skip me on the next round, and I'll no doubt catch you in the week. G4NRC, G7NEH.
G7NEH, G4NRC. Okay, Graham. Well, hopefully the viewing figures will keep tickling along. It's actually quite good to get 14 check-ins today, showing that everybody wants to talk, but I do wait to say it's a kind of time-constrained net, just so it doesn't deter people. West Cheshire AGM information will be out tonight, I suspect, maybe tomorrow. Just got to get the final dots and crosses to get put on things. Okay, Trevor, G4KUJ, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC and the group, G4KUJ. Good afternoon, Greg and everybody else. As you've probably noticed, I'm giving the YSF and DMR bridge an airing again this week. It all seems to be working very well as far as I'm concerned on the receive side. I had a very busy week last week, in and out most days, so I didn't get to really do any radio work last week, but this week is a lot quieter, so I may get around to doing a bit more on the RF front, particularly on HF. So, big short, back to you, Greg. G4NRC, G4KUJ.
UJ, G4NRC returning. Okay, well, a visit by G6O yesterday contributed another thing onto my list of radio I won't get to do much with, by the looks of it, for the coming week. I've now got a Pluto SDR to play with, to join the other things. It's very UHF and microwave though, so not likely to make it down onto anything where we can use it between each other. The other thing that's occupying me is that I've now seen the final ish 2 metre and 70 centimetre band plans, therefore I can get on with issuing the temporary repeater call signs before they expire, those who expire at the end of February. So just trying to pull everything together for that, so a flurry of emails will go out to confirm things now I know what we've got. Okay, Philip, Golf 4 Kilo India Lima, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G4KIL. Hello there, everybody. Greg. And not too much to say, I don't think. The first thing that came to my mind was I did pick up a note, I think, off was it the RAYNET-UK Facebook page? I think somebody posted something remarking that the VAR they thought was superior to Olivia. I thought I'd put that one in because I'm sure that I'll get lots of remarks back from you, Greg. I'm sure you mentioned it many times, what the different values of the different ones were. But I just thought it was interesting. They just thought Olivia was rather slow and seemed to reckon that VAR did the same job a bit quicker. I mean, they also mentioned GSA call, which is actually a lot slower, isn't it? So anyway, there we are. I've thrown that one out. But still, I'd like to be on for the nets for the rest of this Asian nets for the rest of this month. Not sure if I'll be on for this one next week. Probably will. I'm helping Kent out with something in Tunbridge Wells on Sunday next week. But I suspect I'll be back by the time this net happens, or maybe even mobile. Wouldn't be impossible. Right, that's probably it. I won't sign it now. I will let it go round, but if you are getting short of time, you don't have to come back to me, as it were. So I'll leave you that ambiguous response. G4NRC, G4KIL.
G4KIL, G4NRC. Curiously, I didn't see that comment. The irony is, the WinLink people who use all the modes, remember WinLink is not a mode, WinLink uses other modes, have got some tables and graphs on their website which shows the various performance of Pactor 4, 3, 2 and 1, Vara, RDOP and whichever other one they use. And the worse the signal to noise level gets, they all trend down to about the same speed. So you can have, I think, a variety of options. You can have speed, but for that you need to have good signal to noise ratio, or you can have a mode which would get through appalling signal to noise ratios, but by its very nature then it gets slow. On a slight aside of reinventing the wheel, I did see that WSJTX had got some kind of wraparound on it now to allow messages to be sent via Whisper, albeit it was I think 16 canned messages that was available. So if you want to get your messages through in minus 20 or 30 dB signal to noise levels, you now have a tool to do so, but it will not be fast. You can't have something for nothing. Okay, on the net availability, I do really need to start looking at people's calendars, because we should be hitting an uptick of nets activities soon. Right, final on this round, it's Ian, Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4NRC.
G4NRC in the group, G3ZHX, good afternoon all. I've had an interesting week. I tried to back up my SD card in the hotspot on Tuesday, and in the process destroyed the configuration. I did a move instead of a copy, and it couldn't copy everything that I wanted, and just deleted a load of links, internal links. So it took me till 8:30 last night to get back online. So if you'd be so kind as to give me a signal report, and I will then drop out, provided it's good. G3ZHX.
3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4NRC. You're all doing your best to make sure Les can ask his questions before I have to disappear. You reminded me on audio reports, yours, Ian, was loud and clear, no problems. Trevor's via the Fusion network to me sounded a little bit burbly. No packet drops, but there was definitely, to me, something that was not quite happy between the two sets of codecs in use, or various tools that the guy's probably cringing at because I've just mangled it. So, Ian, are you happy with that report and therefore drop out at this time? Golf 3 Zulu Hotel X-Ray, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G3ZHX, yes I am, and thank you for running the net. G3ZHX, going to stand by but listening to the end.
G4NRC, no problem. Okay, I'll be quicker on the next one around. Nothing has jogged my memory other than what's already been jogged. So, to you, Mike, Golf 8 Echo Echo Yankee, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC from G8EY. Well, I've just checked my diary, and the next local NRF meeting is on Wednesday, March the 19th, so see if anything comes up then. Otherwise, wow, it's still daylight outside, which is unusual for... I'm not getting used to this time of year yet. That's all it from me for this week. Thanks for running the net, Greg, and look forward to next week from G8EY.
G4NRC without being dropped by the server this time. You have jogged my memory for something, because if your LRF meeting is March, I think that means the Cheshire one is as well. So I need to go hunting through and see if I've got any dates written down, because inevitably that means time off work. Okay, thanks Mike, talk to you next week. I think I've more time next week, no basketball games on, so we'll go for Trevor, G4KUJ, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G4KUJ. It's all noting round, especially about the temporary repeaters, and also it's worth, as you say, the reminder about 60 metres. I haven't had a listen around there for a while, but I have heard one or two people out of band, shall we say, in the past. Anyway, cheers for now. Thanks for running the net, and hopefully be in touch next weekend. G4NRC, G4KUJ.
G4KUJ, G4NRC. Yeah, okay. The 60 metre thing is a little bit interesting. We can't change how some software gets configured, so unless people really think, and I think it's quite easy with some of the data modes to go out of bands, but there are concerns and things do get noticed, so rather not lose the amazing privileges we've got, and at the worst case get knocked down to the 15 kilohertz and 25 watts or whatever it is maximum output if we went to the internationally harmonised arrangements. Okay, so this is Trevor, and unusually finishing the net off this week, it's Philip, Golf 4 Kilo India Lima, G4NRC, over.
G4NRC, G4KL. Yes, indeed. Oh, well, that's fine. I'm glad you came back to me. One other little comment. The Sussex Resilience Forum is online on the 25th of this month. Just had a look in my diary, so we can see if anything comes up on that as well. Okay, I think that's it from me. So thanks for running the net, Greg. And I'll say hopefully be up next week if either from the close to the home QTX ESAM or mobile. And speak to them, G4NRC, G4KL.
G4NRC returning. Okay, thanks Philip. And yeah, we will probably need to keep some situational awareness just to see what's going on and just share it. Recalling, however, that every local resilience forum around the country is wonderfully independent and can do whatever they want. So whether or not we'll see any harmonised approaches or anything to the exercise, I'm not sure. But at least we can share what we're finding out and maybe share some of those good practices back into our own counties if we hear anything useful happening over borders. Right, with apologies to the YouTube viewers for a shorter video this week, but it's what happens from time to time. We'll thank everybody for taking time out of their schedules to participate in the net this afternoon. Be careful, have a good week, and until next Sunday afternoon at 1600 hours local time, I'll close the RAYNET-UK weekly activity net on 23531 Pheonix and Brandmeister and 50 23531 on the RAYNET-UK system, and return those talk groups to being an open net rather than a directed net. 730, this is G4NRC now closing and reverting to my normal call sign of Golf 0 Delta Uniform Bravo. Bye bye.